Fairs. You've summed up my slides remarkably well, but I'll continue with them anyway. Hi everyone, we're the Firefront Radar team, along with George and Marina and obviously the mentors. We've been working on Firefront Radar, which is an application to demonstrate this wildfire data. So as I said, our project, the challenge was to develop this dynamic and intuitive front-end user face to turn this data, which is quite complicated and very large, as Chris said, into something a bit more user-friendly and comprehensible, and specifically targeting the following groups, as you see on the screen: researchers, government agencies, keeping it quite technical. And if we move on to the next slide, one of the driving factors behind the need for an application like this is that wildfires, as of what we've probably seen in the news over the last few years, have become increasingly dangerous in recent years and have devastating consequences. They're now more frequent, intense, and widespread due to things like prolonged drought and climate change. And as global temperatures rise, the conditions for extreme wildfires are becoming even more common and turning what were once more manageable events into major disasters. So our application aims to kind of provide an overview of this and hopefully the ability to predict things like this more easily. So the application or data in the application comes from two main indices: the FOPI, which is the Fire Occurrence Probability Index, and the POF, Probability of Fire Index. Chris could probably explain these much better than I could, but basically the FOPI is a risk-based metric which combines the Canadian Fire Weather Index, the FWI, with remote observations of vegetation and characteristics to better predict landscape faunability. And the probability of fire combines vegetation data, weather forecasts, machine learning to predict wildfire activity at 9-kilometer resolution up to 10 or even 30 days in advance. So this is the data we were using, and I'll hand over to George to explain how we did it.
So the datasets came into NetCDF files. One each day, a new NetCDF file is being used. We initially started using swap the NetCDF files directly and made them one by one. And
George can come with process.
Both of you.
but we realized that they was not efficient. The NetCDF files were quite large. It's for all from the memory correctly, it was around 1 gigabyte per file. For FOPI, it was around 4, which led us to convert them into ZAR. Initially, one file, a ZAR file, one NetCDF into one ZAR file. We had a lot of forward and backwards on this, but finally we reached the point of combining all the data into one ZAR file for its dataset. That led us to query and load them much more efficient. And we developed a simple fast API backend to access that and connect to the web frontend.
Yeah, regarding in the front-end part, we have used React and TypeScript has main the framework and languages to be compatible with the other dashboard present in the ACM that you have website. And we use Moonshine for the UI interface, and Leaflet to get the marks, and iCharts for taking the charts. And our aim is to have a dashboard that is also responsive, so that it works for mobile, desktop, and tablets. And now, if it works, we have Elantim.
Okay, so you may want to use the mouse for this. Oh,
That's okay.
all right. You have to change the sharing.
So now this demo is not available to the public yet, but it will be soon as we fix this up.
That's all. About the game first before sharing.
Why not see their banners?
Okay. Yeah. It's Rudis. Yep. So this. Oh, we're cow lamps.
Yeah. So this is like this. Oh yeah. So this is how the web app loads first. It defaults to the latest date. Currently in the dataset, it says 2 days ago. There is a small delay, a couple of days due to I'm sure Chris say look more on that.
Just to ensure we don't tell people things too early. Until it's properly released, innit?
It loads the whole globe, and from up here we can select for 2 different datasets. And we can select by the date and get the so its dataset has at 10 days, I remember correctly, forecast. So we can either select by picking a date and check the forecast from that date, or to select by forecast. So pick a date and see how forecast progressed for the prediction of that day. So, for example, this is the forecast for September 17th, which was made on the 11th. There are 2 ways to draw a polygon and select an area. We use a small polygon, and we can see some charts for that area.
Yeah, sorry, unfortunately, it doesn't cover all the screens. Also for large. Anyway, the first chart is a forecast horizon chart that compares POP and POP past confidence for the selected area across the 10 days lead times. And it illustrates how forecasts evolve and change while the number of days increase. And as we can see, we have 2 different scales to determine which is an extreme event, since both the probability goes from 0 to 1, but for the POP values, the extreme events start from 0.05 instead for FOPI. It is more regular, the progress of the risk. You can move to the second chart. The second chart is a time series chart that express index values for the data range and the selected areas. And since any area has been composed from by many cells, it calculates the mean and the median. For each chart, is always available to get the data using the icon on the left. Yes, exactly, that view. And it is always possible to download the chart as image with the arrow at the right corner. If we go on, we can have the third slide. The third chart is the expected fires. Even in this case, we have an area that we have already selected, and we have a time range menu to select the dates. And what we have a bar chart that expresses the number of expected file, extract the risk file for that date. But there is even a waterfall model that present the same data in a cumulative way. Or we can have even the magnitude and the cumulative expect. Moving on the other chart, we have a cumulative distribution function that express how many different levels of risk are for a selected time. And we can have this data considering just the fraction of days that are of data that are over the threshold, but even using the toggle on below, even the one that are below. And the last chart is a file risk map that shows the difference between if of versus the blue colors represent the decreased risk, instead the red colors represent the increased risk. Now, if we want to close the chart, so we can even see that we have another tool that is the tooltip tool that is can let people to choose a specific cell and see the specific data related to that cell. We have the numeric data, but even a categorical definition to know if we can consider the risk low, medium, or high. There is even the chance to download the map as a image, if we want to say, let's say it, and other buttons that simply can simplify the users for the user. So in a button meant we center the big condition, a location search. If you already know the name of the location, if you want to go directly to that point, and the zoom and zoom out button. So this is the dashboard at present, and if we can move to the last slide, we can. You can see our next step. So one thing that we want to do is enhance the UX and the UX how the user experience is good, but in any case there are some difference. We want to integrate accessibility features such as the chance to change colors in case of visually parents. We want to enable personalized access, so users that want to save their preference can find the dashboard already always ready to their needs. And we would like to experiment a client-side map rendering, since now the maps are created on the backend, but this is what having a client-side rendering could make the rendering more smoother. And we want to integrate additional data sources, since these data are almost available, but they weren't ready for this presentation. But we want to integrate it for the future. Thank you.
Penso that Nadine, you are was a Lucy online. Any questions?
Please. Can you please stand up, by chance? Thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations, first of all. It really looks fantastic. I was just wondering if you could say, Ben, maybe you addressed this earlier on, but I missed it. Who is it aimed at, the tool? Because it's quite technical tool, right? I mean, I'm saying this as a non-specialist in this thing. It looks technical. So I was just wondering who's the consumer and the target audience.
Yeah, the target audience are the researcher and the experts, so it's not a tool for the public audience. even if we would have liked it, so maybe in the future we will extend it. But now it's a bit more like a cast for the audience.
Other questions? No? Everything here? So we had now the coffee break, so that's a good opportunity to ask questions also directly to Ionwas and Marina. Thanks again. Another round of applause.